Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for City Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. Now today we've got a subscriber request, but it's not just any old subscriber, it's a YouTuber who's quite a biggie too. So I'm very proud to say yes, I'll very gladly have a look at a map for you. The YouTuber is Sam Burr. He is the real town planner and he's from sunny Australia. Now, anybody who does town planning for a living must have a decent insight into, well, town planning. So if you want to check out his channel, maybe you'll get a look at City Skylines from an angle that you'd maybe not thought of before. But anyway, he's looking to do a let's play on a particular map. This is that map, and let's review it for him, shall we? We are looking at Cenergora, or something very close to that. I'm not particularly good at Montenegrin, to be honest. It's by Edos and Nekit, a team effort no less. And where is Montenegro, you ask? Well, it's on the Adriatic Sea, it's across the water from Italy, it's north of Albania, south of Bosnia, borders with Serbia and Kosovo, and a tiny weeny little sliver of Croatia. So there you are, the former Yugoslavia is where we are at. Now if you look at that mountain in the distance, it's got something pointing out the top, hasn't it? Is that some sort of fancy castle? A fancy castle maybe? We'll have a look at that a bit later on, I promise. The details we'll look at later. Starting off with the roads, tiny little bump we just went over a second ago. And then we're going under a rail bridge. I'm not going to moan. The slopes are fine, okay? Slopes are fine there. I'm not moaning. Stop looking at the top of that mountain. I know you are, stop it. We're going to look at that later. Grief, come on. Looking at the roads, frickin' hell. I go to all this effort and you're just looking at the top of mountains going, oh look, top of a mountain. Look, these roads are perfectly fine. This intersection it's okay. It's like a possible start to go a bit bumpy there, but to be honest with you, you're going to be deleting this anyway and replacing it with whatever you want. So actually I'm not marking it down for that lumpy exit from the ramp. I'm not. If you wanted to go underneath there maybe to expand out the other way, it's already a raised highway, you could probably do that. You might want to level it out a little bit, lower it slightly. Perfect bridge, there's no shipping routes under here, nothing wrong with this bridge at all. Now this is a kind of a trumpet intersection, but it's a bit loose and it leads to our start square, and that's where you can start building. I'd like it that trumpet just be a little bit tighter. See that loop round? It's just a little bit, takes up a bit too much space basically for me. Not too, yeah, I don't like them too tight. Just like, oh, stop it. Stop it. Anyway, and here we are. Now this is a better one. This is slightly more contained. Still could be a little bit more controlled. The highway continues off into the fog that direction. And this way, raised highway, and then across a little bridge. And then under another rail bridge. No problem with that at all. In fact, less of a problem than before. We will definitely be having a look at that one a little bit later. And then we scoot along. The roads follow a nice straight line. And then when they bend, they're staying together. Nicely controlled. Little lumpy bumpy down here, but not so bad. And it's just a lovely, lovely scenic little drive, this, isn't it? I think so. Now we're going to raised highway, and there's a reason for this. We go up. Yep, come on, let's follow it, keep going. We go up, and we follow the raised highway alongside of the lake there. And then we drop down over here. Now when I say there's a reason for this, I don't know what it is. I mean, seriously. Why? Why is that raised? Maybe in the actual area it is a raised bit of highway. I don't understand though. In the context of this map, I don't get it. Onto the rail and wait for this, wait for this. Look at that view. Look at that view. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's a big plus star onto the aesthetics instantly, just for that view. It's glorious. Now that rail is just a little bit too steep. Now I'm going to let the map off of it as well, because once again you've got to allow a little bit of creative license with this, with City Skylines, and you know, where a train can manage maybe a 1 in 5 hill. Oh, we've got a slight drop there. Like I say, the bridge looks a bit rickety, but it comes down the other end, it drops, and it could have stayed level right the way to the brow of that hill. I would have liked to have seen that. But yes, that previous hill though, where it was a little bit too steep, you know, if a train can manage a 1 in 5 in this game, we'd have to kind of allow it a 1 in 10. Otherwise, you literally wouldn't get a train anywhere. Anyway, it goes off that way to the fog, and that way it goes down to that bottom of that peninsula. See those mountains on that island? It's just a peninsula, that. And but we could go down there, but it's actually not much to see apart from a railway line running alongside beside some water. This way is a lot more interesting, so we'll go this way, because you trust me, don't you? You trust me. You're so wrong to trust me. This bridge is fine. Once again, it lacks a tiny weeny percentage of finesse, which will account for some of these steep bridges, etc. I'm going to say they may actually be slightly rickety. I want to have another look at this. Let's have one more last look at it. It's really good. It just, for me, kind of could be slightly better. Just slightly. I don't know. But perhaps the bridge looks exactly like that in real life. Anyway, we've got this little bit of raised railway there across that. That's nice. And then this bridge. Yep, perfect. Perfect. It's essential. It comes across here and it lands the other side of the highway, above the highway, and I'm fine with that. That's good. Very nice. Once again, a bit steep there, about a 1 in 10. You know, mate, I'm not going to sit there and work it out, but could be a little shallower. But once again, in the context of City Skylines, kind of on the border. Now, before we go off to the fog, we're going to head this way. Now, as you can see, the rail line only goes out towards the fog, so this is obviously for export only. So hopefully something industrial down here. What do you reckon? Oh look, a couple of factories and 2 sidings, yep. And what have we got else here? We've got some abandoned buildings and a quarry. Lovely. Now that's quite a simple quarry, if I'm honest with you. I've seen a lot more elaborate quarry, but that does the job. It does the job. And I like it. So yes, I'm giving that a little nod as well. Okay, getting towards the fog. What next? Oh, what a good idea. Let's have an asset review, shall we? Now this is a nice one. This has been on the front page for a while as well. It's Detroit Fire Headquarters by Darf. Now this is a big square building and has fire engines in it. And when there's a fire in your city, these fire engines will scurry out of the building and go and put the fire out. You know how that works. This is a bit glittery on the back. Ooh, lovely. Quartz in the cement, maybe, possibly. Anyway, so that's the building there. And now if we head up to the top, you'll see the helipad and what I'm going to call the smoker's room. You go out there, stick your head out the window and have a little fag in that little area at the back. No one will know. No one will know. So that's it, Detroit Fire Headquarters by Darf. Today's asset of the day. And we are back to Montenegro. It's Cenergora and it's the shipping routes. There's not much to see here. Basically, one shipping route that comes in, loops around, and gets a bit close to the rocks, but not too close to the rocks, and nips back out again. There's not really much to see there at all. The rivers, now the highlight of the map. The rivers are lovely. The detailing alongside of the rivers is lovely. The banks feel like river banks. This here feels like a proper river delta with it splitting out in both directions and that big rocky outcrop in the middle forcing the water on either side. Really does feel solid. And then we've got this big lake. This big old lake. Big old lake. Likey, biggie lakey. And then the essential lighthouse. Now, okay, I'm going to do it because, like I say, I've got to keep a cannier on side on this one. Look, you can't get into it. It's too high. too high. Sloppy Joes. Now there's a waterfall there. We'll go to that one last. Let's go up this one next. We've got, like I say, nice detailing here as the river wends around and tries to find its way into the lake. And quite steep banks here, but like I say, it varies. As you come down here, it gets much shallower under the highway. And like I say, very shallow banks here, so you can build some nice riverside towns along here. And then this is the way out, of course, that we didn't follow because, you know, we could see. And then you've got this little water source hidden in the fog, and it's perfect. I have no complaints about that at all. Finally, we'll have a look at this final water source, which is oh, look at this. Now, this waterfall reminds me of something from Skyrim. Those of you who have played Skyrim, yeah, do you agree? It does. It just feels very Skyrim-y. And then stop it. And then we're going up the mountain pass. I can just see you looking at me now, going, "Rimmy, are you serious?" Yes, it's a real word, and it's not rude at all. A big lake at the top here. Nice water source here, and it comes out and expands out this way. If we pull back, you can see it's slightly above the lake below. Now this lake obviously is being fed by underwater, like the water table. That's what I'm looking for. The water table is feeding that lake because there's nothing sourcing it from anywhere else. But it's close enough to be the other lake that you can believe that it would exist here on its own. And I like it. So anyways, if you're looking for build planes, all of the main parts of the land here, and it is a mountainous area, seem to have mountain ridges within them. We've got that one build plane there, a little bit around the outside of here, and then you got a valley in there you can encroach into. But wherever you build, you can't really get into the middle of the islands, etc., because there's just the mountain range blocking your way. So it's going to limit the build space a little bit, just a little bit. As we head over here, there's a bit more build space over here as you can break in from that big old lake inlet, and then along the side of, let's say, this quite a big build space just to the south of the quarry, and just a little bit above as well. So like I say, there's loads of rooms to build. There could be, I think, one or two fewer mountains would have helped, but once again, if it's being based on the actual, look at now, this is, I promised you detailing at the top of the mountains, didn't I? And it's rocks, and it works. It works to great effect. Just doesn't quite look so great from a great distance, but it's very nice. And then other details, we've got another essential lighthouse that you can't get into. See? And an abandoned like keep or something there. And another essential lighthouse over here with a couple of jetties. And once again, you can't get into that one. I'm being fair here, guys. You've got this little riverfront cottage, I'm going to call this. And even closer, this is a lakefront cottage. I know it's not a cottage, but yeah. Play with me, guys. Play with me. What else have we got before we go? Ah, yes, this peninsula over here. This is very believable. Of all the castles and cottages, yeah, we've got a little bridge to get us across. The tourists can come across here. There's a gatehouse type thing here, and you've got the walls going around the outside. You've got a little roundabout there to get back out. Walls going around the outside. We've got all the defence points, the keeps and the towers. They're all around there as well. Oh, it's very nicely done. And even a little harbour. Ooh, it's a harbour. Very nice. I love this. I love that. It's very, very well done. The only thing I would change is this essential lighthouse. I wouldn't have it there. Although you can get into it. Makes a change. Okay, well done. I would have had it, if you look over here, the rocks that come out here is very close to the shipping route as well, if you remember earlier. You've got a submerged rock down here as well. So I would have suggested to stick the essential lighthouse on the end of that chain of mini islands. Just to, when the shipping comes around, it won't It went ground, it went beach. And that's it. Right, what should we do for scores then? Aesthetically, it is lovely. Can't mark it down. It's a 5-star map. Detailing's pretty damn good. There's one or two things that could be a little better, but I still like it. 4 stars there. Gameplay potential. My only grumble, if you could say it is a grumble, is with the mountains. The question is, would it be slightly more playable if there was 1 or 2 fewer mountains in the middle? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to give that 4 stars, but other than that, it's a brilliant map, and it gets the BonBonB seal of approval. Cenergora by Edos and Nekit. And that's it. That is today, and tomorrow it's Saturday. It's the final one of the week. It's the quirky asset of the day, which you are gonna love if you've got the time to watch it. I'm giving you no more clues. If you've got the time to watch it. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.